Sitting on the banks of the Brisbane River, under the Story Bridge in the new Howard Smith Wharves, is Ark Dining, a bright, contemporary, award-winning restaurant run by Alana Sapwell. Alana has worked in Florence and Japan, as well as in some of Brisbane's premium restaurants, and most recently was head chef at Sydney's St Peter. Returning to Brisbane, she's now running Ark Dining. Alana, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Welcome to G&M.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit, what's your basic philosophy on food and cooking?
I think it comes from the customer's point of view, first and foremost. So we really want people just to feel comfortable, and as much as we want to be teaching and training the next generations of chefs, at the end of the day, we really bear in mind that we want to make sure it's approachable for everyone. Mm-hmm. Coming from a country town, my parents are slightly bogan, so I always want a space that they'll feel comfortable as well. All of our food, we don't really project what we do, but it's feel-good food in the way that people can come 3 times a week and they feel like they're actually eating something quite nourishing. But the things that we're sourcing, whether it be fish or animals, it's all very ethically raised. So it's feel-good food on both accounts.
And as you said, you grew up in country, or Sunshine Coast, just
Yeah.
outside the Sunshine Coast, and you trained under David Rainier at River House. How important do you think it is that getting overseas afterwards before you came back?
I actually didn't realise how much David taught me at the time. I did spend a lot of time there. It was 4 years, and the people that I worked with are still some of my best friends today, and there was that really beautiful camaraderie. He also gave us this incredible opportunity as an apprentice. So he gave us his ethos and what he wanted to achieve. He was doing like 30-kilometre dinners before it was the trend. And he gave it back, he gave a bit of ownership to us, saying, this is what I want to achieve here. Here's your section, you come up with the menu. And to get that kind of opportunity to be creative from such a young age I've never seen a place run like that before. You know, we had beautiful produce to work with. We came in every day. We thought we'd know what we were going to deal with, but then our veggie man was very sporadic. So you also have to learn how to cook off the cuff, so to speak. But that's something that I've really tried to bring back into Ark, the way that I've designed the kitchen. So people, instead of it going through 20 people's hands, which you do often find in the higher end restaurants, but I feel like even though it looks very perfect at the end of the day, it just loses something. And so I've really tried to give everyone that ownership of coming in, prepping for their own section, cooking their own, plate of food, and to be able to then serve it. And even really try to treat creativity as a thing that you just learn over time as well. So giving people, whatever stage they are at, but a little bit of freedom to put something on the menu or to contribute in some way, and teach them about the business side, because there is a huge gap between good chefs and then being able to run your own business as well, and there's too big a leap. And even the fact that it's just so hard these days to go to the bank and get a small business loan for a restaurant, because the mentality is you don't make money in the first year, which is pretty crazy to think that that's the norm in thinking, and no wonder the banks don't want to lend us money. And so what we really need to do is make sure that we're giving these chefs the best opportunity to run a successful business, not just cook delicious food.
That's really good. You've only been open for less than 12 months, and you've already won a lot of awards. How are you coping with the spotlight?
I think, as much as I want to thank the team, but what we do discuss quite often is that there is those expectations there now, and how can we exceed those expectations when people are coming in? What do we need to do to make sure they have a really personal, great experience here? And because there is a lot of hype, and the worst thing is you don't want people leaving disappointed. One thing that we're really working on at the moment is really reading a person. It's not a matter of ticking all the boxes, them saying that they've had a nice time, but like really look a little bit further and ask them the questions of, instead of them saying, what should we have, really tailor it to that person, saying, well, what do you like? Do you like something sweet, savoury, and try and have a menu as well, that there is something for everyone.
It's all about the experience, obviously.
Yeah.
Running an award-winning restaurant takes a lot to do. How do you relax? How do you get work-life balance?
I just had my birthday yesterday, actually.
Congratulations.
And so it's not so much time that you have off, but I had all my friends for 30 years. We had a boat, and we just drank some nice wine and ate some nice food. And they keep me really grounded, those kind of people. I also do boxing with my brother once a week, so it's good to get a bit of exercise.
Well, I read somewhere that you're a car mechanic as well.
Yeah, that's a good father-daughter time.
The Brisbane restaurant scene has really changed over the last 12, 18 months, and we've seen a lot of new restaurants coming in, and it's obviously spawned a lot of competition. Do you think there's perhaps too many venues?
I think it's exactly what Brisbane needed. Like, there's so much energy at the moment that I'm finding, even like our Wednesday nights, it's packed out, and it's good that Queensland's got that, they're getting that eating culture of going not just going out on a Saturday night, but through the days, the weekdays as well. And what I've found, as much as, you know, probably our first instinct would be like, oh, is there enough staff? But we're actually attracting lots of people from Sydney and Melbourne, and it's just really helping the whole of Brisbane grow in the food scene.
Good. What do you think the biggest issue is facing the restaurant industry?
I think staffing, absolutely. And that's why I spent a lot of time making sure that we got the right staff. I want a place, despite all the awards and everything, but just a place that you can come to work and you really enjoy every day. And to have that kind of culture in the kitchen, finding that balance of not holding everyone's hands, but everyone's there to help each other as well.
You have a really innovative, exciting menu, and obviously you've got to keep people's expectations coming. Where do you get your ideas from?
Normally problems. It normally starts with a problem, and then we find a solution. Whether it be the brewery rang me up one day and they had a blueberry sour and they over-ordered 100 kilos of blueberries, and they're like, can you use it? I'm like, of course. So we pickled it all down, and then we had on the menu for ages this beautiful tomato, perilla and blueberry saladon, which was just really fresh and delicious. Or whether it be, I get a phone call from our veg supplier saying, great, persimmons aren't going to be around next week. And so I think it was asparagus, actually. Asparagus isn't going to be around next week, and you're like, great. And so you go for a road trip with one of the waitresses, and we went out to the markets out at Sunnybank, and then there was beautiful persimmons there, and then that's how the whole goose prosciutto persimmon dish came about. It's just, I think it really comes from the product. Like, I know that seems very cliche, but it does come from the product.
Yep, and look, it's amazing. You've got a good product, and you've got a good location here, lovely location. So,
and I think it's communication as well, like just having those good relationships with your veg suppliers or your farmers, and them saying, we've got to use up this week, you know, what can you do? And it just, it's that sense of urgency that you need to come up with something very quick. And I've always been like that. I've always done my assignments last minute.
Well, you've done very well, and I think you've deserved all the accolades you've had, and thank you, Alana. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.